man who was shot and killed by a Hartford police officer last month will be laid to rest. Stephen Jones's family says he was in the middle of a mental health crisis when he was shot. It was the second shooting by police in just a little bit more than a week in the city. Your reporter Taylor Knight live in Bloomfield ahead of today's funeral with how he's being remembered. Taylor.
Well, the funeral will be happening behind me at the First Cathedral here in Bloomfield. Stephen Jones was shot just 2 miles down Blue Hills Avenue from where we're standing right now. And today, 2 well-known, nationally recognized civil rights advocates will be here at his funeral. Jones was shot 9 times during an interaction with Hartford police on February 27th. He was holding a knife in the middle of the street, but his family says he was experiencing a mental health crisis. He died nearly a week later. A preliminary report from the Office of the Inspector General classified his death as a homicide. Jones's death has raised serious concerns about law enforcement's handling of mental health emergencies and the use of force. Today, civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Reverend Al Sharpton will be in attendance at Jones' funeral. Reverend Sharpton will be delivering the eulogy, and Attorney Crump, who is representing the family, will be issuing a national call for justice to demand accountability and meaningful reforms to law enforcement's response to mental health calls. The funeral will begin at noon today, and Channel 3 will be inside the church, and we'll have continuing coverage of this throughout the day. Your reporter live in Bloomfield, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Taylor, thank you.